Hello, Leo. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, Leo. How are you? Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you, Leo. I've got some oracles here that we're going to throw down for the oral energy for the week ahead. And if you are my ride or die, you know what I'm about to say. We're going to throw down some tarot on top of that. And we're going to get some details about what is going on in the week ahead. So, Leo, if you've never been here before, welcome to you. And I hope that you will stay. And if you decide to, there is a subscription button down in the bottom right-hand corner of this little crazy square where I spend most of my time where I live. And I'm always reading for the week ahead, by the way. So no matter when you get this or any of my readings, whenever you find it or it finds you, it's always going to be for the week ahead, whether you get this today, tomorrow, or next year. Let's find out what's going on for Leo. Now, Leo, on Monday, there is a full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is water. Very deep emotional energy is going to be coming to the surface because full moons are all about releasing things. It's all about things coming full circle. So this, you could already be feeling this. Leo, you're very psychic, and so you could already be feeling this energy. You might be feeling emotional or tumultuous. You know, when I'm talking about Leo being emotional under the surface, it's like stuff that's gurgling under the surface that you don't really want people to see on the surface. I don't know that you're going to be able to hold it back. Some of you might be able to, but this full moon is about things that you no longer need, that need to be released on the surface here. Tell me about Leo. We've got purity. Bottom of the deck, we have taking risks. So it does feel to me here that there is some sort of risk that you're going to take in order to purify something. And as I was saying, I felt like something was gurgling under the surface. Now, the purification is the release of something, right? We can liken that to maybe a baptism or washing away of things. Things that you can see the purity here, right? Very clear, white. It feels like the taking a risk means that you might just be letting something fly. Like I'm just looking at the eagle here. You might just be letting something fly, going for it, taking a risk. That's sort of more Leo energy, but it feels like it is in order to clear the air or purify something or get a clarity or an understanding on something that you didn't have before. It could be with a person. It could be at your place of work. We've got stillness. Stillness is in the future. Bottom of the deck is always future energy. I feel like once you, I don't necessarily want to say blow in your top, Leo, because you're not really the one who blows your top. You're more under the surface with it, but I feel like you're going to take a risk to clear the air. I feel like that's what it feels like. And then you might just have a little bit of a hangover. Embracing the stillness here. Feels like that. All right, let's take a look at another card here. Tell me more about Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me more about Leo. Tell me more about Leo. We've got happiness. Look, it does feel like I'm looking at look, I'm in my 50s. I'm getting to the late 50s here. And so I'm looking at like a retro glass bottle of Coca-Cola, if you know, you know, and where you had to use the bottle opener on it, and back in the day where everything was a screw top. And it's like we shake it up and the bottle opener, and it all goes out the top. And I think it's this. I think what's underneath everything is you just want to be able to feel happy again. You need to let the pressure off, is what it feels like. It says, I'm aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. Y'all, this is the only thing you need to know about life, period. If you are miserable, if you are unhappy and you're terrible with people and you're always arguing and fighting and dramatic, you're not on the right path. And that's pretty much as clear as I can make it. Having happiness in your life means that you're going in the right direction. That means that if you have a beautiful weekend with your family and you're full of this, you're full of happiness, and then on Monday you go to that job and it makes you just want to bite the head off a pigeon, it feels like it's you know that you're not on the right path with that. It's time for you to change, right? It's time to make a change of some sort. It does feel like it feels like that's what this has to do with, I'm going to say. That you're like, why do I always feel great on the weekends and terrible on Monday? And a lot of people are like that, right? And it's because you have to step onto the path that isn't yours from the path that really is yours. We do have a purpose. It says, I know what I'm here to do. So I think I know what you know what you have to do, but I feel like you don't want to do it. Yeah, because it might be a hard path. All right, so I pulled out the surrender deck because it's sort of appropriate with the full moon coming up on Monday that we figure out maybe what it's time for you to surrender, because full moons are about release, right? Let's find out what the surrender deck says for you, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo. We've got negative thinking. All right. It does feel like you need a little bit of relief. You need to let off some pressure. And it feels like it might be some of this gurgling under the bottom of all of the emotional stuff. It says you have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. So it does feel like, I do feel like there is going to be some sort of top pulled off the bottle and things might come spouting out the top. But I feel like there's too much pressure. And I feel like it's because you know that it might even be like somebody invited you out somewhere and you said, no, I'm not going there. I'm not doing that. And then they talked you into it and you got there and you're like, oh, crap. This is how I expected it to be. It feels like you're going to have to release some negative thinking and go into your happy place in order to endure whatever it is that you have to endure in the week ahead. We've got frustration. Well, that follows right suit, doesn't it? Follows suit. It says frustration doesn't open any doors. I like that. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly, Leo. So it does feel like it is you taking a risk of purifying the air or clearing the air on something, but it's it's an attempt to rid yourself of the negative thinking. We have happiness here because you would just much rather take a risk on being happy than take a risk on allowing people to see your negative thinking. Let's talk about tarot. Let's find out what else we need to know about Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Leo, don't forget that private reads are open if you're interested in that. I am reading live now, so if you are interested in a live reading, there's a 75% discount as an introductory welcome offer. Please go look at the pinned comment down below. If you're interested in going to Hipsy, it's the only place where you can book me. If you're interested in going to Hipsy, please take a look at the pricing. All right, let's find out what's going on for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter here. We've got the Eight of Swords, and I think that might be the source of the issue. It's almost like maybe it's a situation where you felt like you couldn't say something or you shouldn't say something, and it puts you into a place of overthinking. And who wants to be there? I think this is your effort to clear the air. You're going to be taking a risk here, and I think you're sort of back and forth on this. Should I? Shouldn't I? I don't want to live with this anymore. I don't want to live in this mental prison anymore. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like with this Three of Pentacles, that whatever it is that you've got to say, I feel like you are contemplating or reassessing the situation, going to try and be practical and grounded and solid and sturdy. It feels like with the Queen of Pentacles energy here and the Two of Pentacles, it feels like you're going back and forth trying to make a decision, but ultimately the Three of Pentacles is where you land. And the Three of Pentacles is, I just want to be collaborative. I want to go slow. I want to make sure that things stay even and solid and sturdy. I don't want someone to look at me as someone who is just going to, talk about my frustrations. That's not what I'm here to do. It could be for some of you, it has to do with a relationship. But it feels like it is a matter of frustration here. You might be anticipating that wherever you're going to or invited to or you got talked into going to is possibly a place that is a source of frustration for you. There's the Five of Swords as I say that, right? Tell me more. We have the Eight of Wands. And so you don't really want to pop off. It feels like this Five of Swords has the potential to move too quickly, say something too fast. So I'm going to say watch your words if you don't want to cause arguments or fights. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So it is about the reassessment of the situation. It's about holding back or possibly realizing that patience is going to be required in order to get through whatever this is here. We've got Judgment, and so you're going to be given a moment in time to make a decision that possibly is really crucial to however people see you. So I'm not really at this point concerned about whomever you might have this blow up with, maybe a few words with, tense words. I'm not concerned about them. What I'm concerned about is how people perceive you. And so that's what your concern should be as well. We've got the Judgment card here. And some of you might say, I don't really care what people think of me. And that's cool if that's who you are. But, you know, some of us are into the self-mastery. And self-mastery is, you know what? I'm just not going to allow somebody to goad me into a place where, boom, I just throw out my negative thinking and show all my frustration. I feel like you're approaching it with stillness. You're approaching it with embracing the stillness here is what you're trying to do. So I feel like the frustration is keeping it in. That's what causes the frustration with the Five of Swords here. The Five of Swords can be intrusive thoughts. And so it feels like you already are setting yourself up for, I know who's going to be at this dinner. I know who's going to be at this thing I'm going to. And you're already contemplating with the Two of Pentacles, trying to keep things in balance. And it feels like I feel like you're already thinking about it before you get there. There's a judgment. It's going to be a judgment made in a snap decision. When somebody, boom, says something really quickly, you're going to have a moment in time where you can assess the situation quickly. So you can react or respond. Those are two different things, and each one's going to get their own response, right? So if you're reactive, it could cause a fight. If you're responsive, then it doesn't necessarily cause a fight. Maybe it just smooths things over and makes things a little bit more solid and sturdy. Tell me about this Two of Pentacles, please. Tell me about the Two of Pentacles. We've got the Justice card. We've got the Ten of Swords. Okay, well, that explains it just a little bit. It feels like this is somebody here who possibly you've had prior issues with, it feels like. Somebody who you maybe had an argument or a fight with, somebody who you've already had an ending with, somebody who you see as a liar, or someone who had betrayed you. I feel like you're going into this situation, whatever it is, with the idea of being in balance with the Libra energy here, or restoring something back to its natural state. Letting go, you don't want to create more karma, but it feels like this Ten of Swords is telling me here that you're trying to approach it in a very stable and logical way, but the truth of the matter is something here hit the ground. Something here hit rock bottom. Harsh words were spoken, pain ensued, and I don't think you've forgotten that. It could be emotional pain. We do have Scorpio here. And listen, Scorpio energy is what's coming up on Monday. It's a Scorpio full moon. And so we are dealing with the reckoning of things, emotional pain. And so if this is somebody that you're dealing with around the full moon, look, we're usually within 3 to 4 days before the full moon and same after. We're dealing in about a week of this energy, maybe even longer. I'm not an astrologer, but maybe even a week of this energy where things are kind of touch and go. I feel like you are going to be in a situation here that is touch and go. It feels like it could go either way, and however it ends up is up to you. You're taking a risk by entering the situation, but you're trying to clear the mind, get purity, clarity of the mind before you enter the situation itself. So let's find out what this is about here. We've got the Eight of Swords and we got the Five of Swords. It's almost like murmuring under your breath. That's what it feels like. It feels like that's some, you know what I mean? Like that's what it feels like, Leo. And somebody may have said to you, look, Leo, you don't have to say anything. And you're like, son of a, yeah, under your breath. We've got the King of Swords. Oh my gosh. The King of Swords, the Seven of Swords. Oh no. And then we've got the Nine of Wands. So it's harboring resentment is what it is. The Seven of Swords and the Nine of Wands is that for me. Harboring resentments, things that are under the surface. We haven't cleared the air. We haven't talked about things. I'm frustrated. You're frustrated. It feels like this is what's going on here. It says here, let go of relationships that don't serve you. It says, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. So it does feel like with the King of Swords here that you walk in with your boundaries up, I'm going to say. You walk in with your boundaries up thinking, if that person says a word, if they start it, I'm going to finish it, is what it feels like. Because the King of Swords is that person, is the one who is going to deal with it with no emotional energy, I'm just going to give you the straight facts. And if the facts aren't what you like, then you probably shouldn't talk to me. That's the kind of the energy that I'm getting here. So it does feel like there is unresolved situations, things we haven't spoken about. It feels like you are, I don't think you're going in with the idea of arguing with someone, because the King of Swords doesn't really argue. The King of Swords just spits facts and that's it. And then walks away and lets everybody deal with the facts. So it does feel like there is something that has the potential to possibly go one way or another, to be solid and grounded, or to go too quickly. Tell me about this. We've got the Emperor in the reverse. That's who you're dealing with. That's the thing, right? So the Emperor in the reverse is somebody who thinks they're in charge, somebody who's maybe very egoic, completely acting from ego, somebody who thinks they own the place, who thinks they know it all, and I feel like you're walking in with the facts. That's what it feels like, Leo, because that's Leo, right? It's just gonna come down to the facts for Leo, is what it is. And so it feels like this Emperor, look, this could be your father, this could be your grandfather, it could be your brother, your mother, whoever, right? But an Emperor is in the reverse, which means they are not someone who's listening to their intuition. They're not someone they're someone who's more interested in arguing and winning an argument at any cost, the Five of Swords, but they're not necessarily interested in smoothing things over. We've got the Nine of Swords in the reverse, and we've got the Two of Wands. So this person's been holding it in as well, as you can see the problem, right? So it feels like something's been gurgling under the surface. Frustration has been rising. Feels like you've been thinking about this for a while. The Emperor is already in reverse when you get there, and the Nine of Swords is in the reverse as well. Somebody's like throwing caution to the wind. I don't really care if Leo shows up. I'm ready. This person wants to fight and wants to win at any cost. And so the Two of Wands tells me that this person has been preparing to see you for a while. Tell me about this Judgment here. What is the Judgment here? Because it feels like we really do need to put something to bed. We need to just stop it, and we need to take a different look at it and go on a different trajectory. And I think that might be up to you, because I think the Emperor is showing up with a fight. Tell me about Judgment. You're ready to open a new door, Leo. That's what it looks like. You're like, I'm not going to do it. They're not going to goad me into turning into the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is somebody who doesn't really have any stability, someone who's just brave and bold, and look, you listen to me. That's who the Knight of Wands is. The Page of Wands is here. This person feels like they're the adult and you're the child. They feel like they trump you because they're the adult and you're the child. I really feel like they don't understand that you're the King of Swords, that you're the person who can take care of yourself no problem in a conversation, because you show up armed with the truth and the facts, right? But also without emotion. Now, the King of Cups is here. I'm just going to say there are things that are lying deep down under the surface about anger that possibly you cut somebody out or stop talking to them. And I think it's the Emperor is what it feels like here. So I feel like the energy you're in is, I'm going there to open a brand new door. Don't push me here. You don't want to push Leo into being the Knight of Wands. You don't want to push Leo into being the combination of the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, because that person is just going to not I'm not taking your shit. I'm just probably going to say something. But understand that this Emperor in the reverse, the whole purpose of the Emperor being in the reverse is to try to take you out of your character. So, I mean, it's totally up to you what you do. I'm going to put down 3 cards here, and we're going to take that into the extension. If you're interested in that, I'm extending this week. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it. If you guys want it, I will keep doing it. But I'm going to put the extension in my membership area. So those of you who are a member already, you will have this extension. And if you want to join the membership area, there is a link in the pinned comment just below the Hipsy link there. Tell me what is going on here. Let's talk about the 7 of Pentacles. We've got the not the ace, but the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, and then the Sun. So very interestingly enough, I feel like you bring something to, I'm going to say that you're not allowing anybody to goad you into anything, that you see the situation for what it is. The Sun is here. That's your energy, Leo. But when the Sun is here, You see the growth in the possibilities of the situation. You also have grown personally, professionally, spiritually, in your work life. You've already gone through a growth spurt. And the fact that the Page of Pentacles is in the reverse is telling me I'm not even giving this person my energy. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. I'm just going to hold back. I'm going to wait. I'm going to assess the situation from a distance. And then we have the Ace of Wands. But don't get at me, because I'm not above turning into the Knight of Wands. We got 1, 2, 3 wands, right? 2 are here, 5. We've got, I'm going to hold back. I'm going to not jump in right away immediately into the situation, but we need to assess the Emperor from a distance. We're going to go into the extension and we're going to talk about this, because I think that you show up with this energy, wanting to cooperate, wanting to collaborate. I feel like you're showing up with, sturdy, stable foundation. I just want to, I just want to get through the situation. And it feels like you're feeling rejected by this Emperor here. So, oh, look, we got the Ace of Swords. There is going to be a conversation that's going to show up here. So I'm going to take these cards off the top. We're going to talk about those and see what we should do in this situation. Why is this happening? Why is the Emperor in reverse? Why are you two on the outs? And we're going to find out what the conversation is going to be about. I'll be in the extended. And if you'd like to go there, I would love to see you there. I'm going to go for now. You guys take care. And I'll be back, because I'm always back. Thanks, Leo. Bye-bye.